So as far as the times that it started, I wasn't able to do something like take the train or the bus schedule, and it would have required an extra day in the hotel. So we worked it out and figured that the car rental was cheaper. So the flights would be doubled, or the buses could be, and what else is there? Conference fee, which both delegates would pay if you were sending two, but then again, I should say you don't have to send two people, but it wouldn't exactly be double the cost of what we would have paid for the Halifax conference if we sent two people, just so everybody's clear on that, because you share accommodations and that's all.
Okay, and you still have a 30-second response.
Sorry?
And you still have a 30-second response.
Oh, I'm not even going to bother.
Mine's not really a question, I guess it's more of a statement.
Quick question. Right?
Currently, you guys are debating the CASA thing, which I find really important and interesting. Like, you're debating in front of pretty much this current SAC or the people who want to be on the current SAC. And there's about 5 people here who aren't even on the SAC, representing half our student population being off campus.
Camera.
What?
There's a camera too.
Well, yeah, that's great that it's going to be videotaped, but I mean, what I'm hoping is that the SAC will push for more information and more questioning of the students, going out and polling about how they feel about this issue, and hopefully just hear more about it, because this is really, you're just debating amongst yourselves once again. I think you guys do this in the SAC anyways, so I feel like you should bring it out to the students and give us something more credible, more authoritative, just more information, because this is bad. And there's more people at the pub right now, the Classic Society trivia, than at this, for all those people who can't see the camera, for all the people who are on the camera right now. And Ryan, you want to say something?
I just wanted to point out that a referendum is polling students, so it's going to be with polling students, and we're informing students by having a yes and no debate.
Right.
So that's how students are coming on.
Right, but there's been very little otherwise visual media of it. I mean, you guys could utilize these TVs.
And that's up to the yes and no team. The SAC doesn't take a stand on the side, obviously, so.
Okay, but that's good to know, but there's just no information about it. Maybe Really? Okay, you should do that. Spread the information.
Disseminate.
And if either of you would like to craft a response.
Do we need to actively respond to this, or?
Why haven't other people joined veterans? If anybody wants to help me out, you can send me an email.
No, I think you should. Yeah,
Yeah, it was just something that was brought up by the No campaign at first. It's a concern that was later rebutted by the Yes campaign that now may just be a parasite on CASA. But also, if we're gaining these benefits, or we're being, things that are decided upon there affect Mount A anyways, isn't it a concern that we're not represented? Like, if it's affecting us anyways, shouldn't we have representation that I think you both can take it and stand on that, obviously. How much of a concern is that? Like, you talk about benefits and costs and that way, it's affecting us no matter what. Is it important to you feel or no?
Could I just ask a question?
What?
Could I ask to clarify?
Okay, yeah.
Are you asking whether or not I think it's not good that we're not a member?
Well, obviously, I know, but like you both like to expand upon it, I guess, because it was said as a positive that things that are decided there affect us anyways. So we don't need to be part of it. It seems strange to me. The same things that affect us, we don't have to say. I don't know. Honestly, speaks to Kevin's point. I didn't know anything about it before hearing the speeches. It's just kind of something that's struggling. Either you would like to clarify.
It's in their turn.
Okay. Alrighty. So I was ready for this question. So hopefully my answer will be able to clear this up a little bit. I'm not fundamentally opposed to the things that CASA lobbies for. I think that, but I think that the things that they lobby for are common amongst pretty much every institution in Canada. And my understanding is that the way that they decide things most of the time is by consensus. So I guess what I'm kind of saying is that like we're not like the chance that we're going to have a unique concern that needs addressing, or that we would want their lobbying to move in a radically different direction, is so low that we can get away with not being members and not having to pay for something like this, because this is really like it's really expensive and it's going to add up over time.
You're absolutely right. They do affect us, and they have affected us for the positive, as my colleague has stated, in the past. But they will continue to affect us in the future, and there's no way to tell whether or not they will continue to affect us negatively or positively, and that's why we need to see, because we can't wait until something comes up that's going to screw Mount A over, and to say, oh, we should have joined CASA last year. Then it's going to be too late, and then we're going to have problems on our hands. So yeah, that's just that would be my response to that. Is that it has been okay in the past. It doesn't mean it will be in the future.
Actually,
I'd like you very briefly to tell me your argument, and you can counter it too. But could you tell me briefly about the voting structure and how you said that, in fact, by Mount A being a voting member on the CASA or on CASA might not actually be beneficial. You just brushed over that, but I'd like to hear more about that side of the argument.
Sure. So what it is you need the current voting structure that they have right now, which they're doing a trial run of 1 or 2 years or something. I can't really remember the specifics. You need 50% of the number of schools who are members of CASA to agree to something, as well as I believe the number was 2/3 of the full-time equivalents that would be members of CASA as a whole. So Mount A's vote would be 1 school vote, as well as however many full-time equivalents we have. So out of 300,000, that's not very many, right? And just given the breakdown of membership, like it is really diverse. So if an issue came to the table that really only affected small schools, we can't be sure that they would the bigger schools would want to act in a way that ensured solidarity. So that's why I think it's a problem.
To be truthful, I don't understand why the voting structure has been a policy for anybody. I do know, however, I mean, in theory, I don't understand why it's been a problem. They are in the process of reviewing it. They told us last night, but currently it sits at almost a bicameral system where you're protected based on population and on, I guess, size again. But the point is, like, you can't pass something without the assent of half the members, no matter what. Mount A is going to have an equal voice as to the University of Alberta, which has 30,000 students. And so that protects us based on that basis in one house, if you will, and on the other house it protects them based on the fact that they have more students and they're paying more. With regards to this is a lobby organization, so with regards to one school not passing something because it only benefits small schools, so for instance, the University of Alberta voting against something because it only benefits small schools, unless they're just jerks, they're probably not going to do that, because it's not about allocating money. It's not like saying, hey, let's give $1 million to the small schools, not the big schools. It's saying, let's argue for something for the federal government to do. And so just as a small school is going to be nice to a big school and say we should argue for this because it benefits students, a large school is going to argue in favor of a small school because it benefits students.
And just as a minor point of clarification, the voting structure currently stands that in order for a motion to be passed, it requires 2/3 of the number of schools present and 50% of the total population. I think you just added them, just in the reverse order.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's time for 30.